Welcome. Welcome to the Real with Joseph Lamtman. I am Joseph Lamtman. Happy Friday, you guys. Friday edition of the Real. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. Like, subscribe, share. If you're a returning subscriber, great to see you again. Appreciate you guys keep hitting the like button and sharing this content and spreading the word. Yeah, happy Friday, you guys. Hope you guys are having a good week. I've had a pretty good week. A lot of lessons and growth this week for me personally. Even recently, I've talked about this on my show in the last couple months, 3 months. It's been a lot of growth for me, step out of my comfort zone, but also even more recently, within the last month, probably more than ever, just really taking the next steps for me in my life, buckling down on things, and really just let a lot of things go and moving forward, and just looking forward to where God's taking me, my journey, my life, and I'm excited about where I'm headed on the healing journey. Obviously, it's a little unfamiliar at times. It gets a little unfamiliar. It could seem a little scary at times. I could be honest. But making peace with the unknown is key. And that's what I've been doing. I'll share some of that today with some of the topics I'll be talking about that I've been using that apply to me, and or excuse me, some of the topics I've been using that apply to me that have helped me. And so, yeah, looking forward to that. What else we got going on? I got some Cavs basketball tonight. Good win the other night against Miami. Back in Miami again tonight. Oh, that's a weird schedule set. I've never seen that where the team plays in the same city in the regular season. So they played Miami Wednesday night, and they play Miami again tonight. Then they go to Charlotte Sunday night, and they play Charlotte again Tuesday night. I've never seen that, but yeah, it is what it is. So hopefully they go 4-0 these next 4 games, get some momentum rolling into the playoffs, but we'll see. But that's not why I'm here today. Today, later on in the show, I'm gonna go a video for my man Dennis, the anxiety guy, on over worry. Looking forward to that. 7-minute, 8-minute video where he really breaks it down on why a lot of people with 5 reasons why health anxiety sufferers tend to over worry, and why he showed you that each and every day, and really kind of trying to break down the root cause of what you're really worried about. It doesn't have to be just health anxiety either. It could be anything that keeps you up at night. You've had some sleepless nights, and I've been there even recently, where it's hard to go to sleep. Then when you don't sleep, you start to just starts to turn to a spiral effect, just kind of like a snowball effect, and just everything just kind of starts to dwindle down. And you have to get to a point where you really have to slow down and be honest with yourself, and uh, really figure out what are you really worrying about. And what I worried about really worth worrying. And so, and, a lot of times nothing's in our control, obviously, and a lot of times it's just, for me, it's just surrendering it to God and speaking up, and allowing myself to just be, and letting go, and understanding that maybe some things didn't go the way I thought they would, or uh, maybe you're still carrying baggage from the past, other people's perceptions or opinions or reactions or traumas, things that happened to you. And I've been there with all those. And you just get to the point where you just kind of let go. And you start to let go, and you start to trust more. And you understand that God's plan for you is perfect, and that He has the right people in the future, with the relationships, careers. He has the right things in place for you in your future. And He's already starting it. I'm starting to slowly see that in my life. And He has the right people and the right things in place for you that fit you, but also to, not just about you, to magnify Him, and to advance His kingdom for His glory. And it's more than you. A lot of times it's more than you. It's about you. It can be, and it affects other people, but again, all for the glorification of God. And so that's kind of where I am, and that's what I've been going through. And a couple of these videos today, I'm really get into, really speak to that. Starting off with my man, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. Love what Coach Deion Sanders is doing at Colorado. I've been following along. I really became a fan of what he's doing at Jackson State as well. I like just his pregame speeches, and a lot of behind the scene videos of what he does, how he operates, his team meetings, and just kind of the wisdom he's always sharing with the guys, his experience. Has an incredible story. Obviously, one of the greatest players of all time, Hall of Famer, one of the greatest athletes of all time. But has really, in my opinion, done something greater in his post career. What he's doing now with coaching, and helping the youth, helping these guys around my age. I'm only 23, so a lot of these guys 18, 17, or 18, 19, 20, we're all around the same group. So uh, really awesome what he's doing. And I saw this video the other day. This is from Deion Sanders Jr. I've been following his channel. He does a lot of behind the scenes video, what goes on in Colorado, like a daily vlogging. It's called Well Off Media. So I want to share this speech I heard the other day from Deion Sanders. This was the other day. It was the beginning of their team meeting. He walked in and he had the song "Lovely Day" on by Bill Withers, and he plays the song. You'll see here in a minute how he takes the song. He makes an incredible speech out, but also an incredible message. And this message he shares, it was so good, and to me, it's something I use every single day, and I'll continue to use every single day now, especially now that I hear him how he broke it down and how he thinks every single day as well. And so in this video, he really shares just a day to day mindset. First thing you do when you get up in the morning, right? And so I'm gonna start off with this video here. Hold on 1 second. So again, this is from Deion Sanders Jr. His channel, Well Off Media, great channel. If you're looking for something cool to watch, if you're into sports, great content. Again, this is fair use. If they strike it, I'll take it down. No hard feelings. I understand. But yeah, we'll share this video and get into this speech. As soon as I hit play, it goes right to it. So let me hold on 1 second here. Okay. All right. So as soon as I hit play on this video, it's going to go right into it. I'm going to play the speech, and then I'm going to go back, make some key points that I like from it. And yeah, we'll go from there.
I was undefeated.
What's that song? Love the day. Love the day. What will make the day love? Coach, what will make it lovely for you?
Just praising Jesus all day.
Amen. What will make it lovely for you? Another opportunity. I like opportunity. Right behind DT, what will make it lovely for you? No, you got better. What will make it lovely for you?
Be as productive as possible.
As productive as possible. What will make it lovely for you?
Nice cup of coffee.
Nice cup of coffee. You can make that happen immediately right after this meeting. What will make it lovely for you? Talk to your family. Do you have the propensity to make a day lovely? So why we do it? You waiting on today, and today is waiting on you. You waiting on us, and we waiting on you. What would make today lovely? I do not have bad days. That's all I have to say, Brian. Why do I have a bad day? I'm glad you asked. I can have a bad moment. I can even have a bad minute or a bad hour. But I would never allow it to get to the point where I have a bad day because I'm in control of that. You do not have the remote control to my life to turn me on and off, high and low, and change the color any way you want. I got that. So knowing that you have the propensity, you have the power and authority to make your day a lovely day, why don't you do it? What are you waiting on? Help? What are you waiting on? Support? What are you waiting on? Somebody to ignite you? Somebody to turn your switch on? Somebody to yell at you, scream at you, cuss you out? What are you waiting on to make your day whatever you want it to be? We're winners. You got to start thinking that. I see about a quarter of y'all thinking that we're winners. Some of y'all still caught up in the last year, into yesterday, into last night, whatever argument, whatever disparity that you had with family, friends, and loved ones. We're winners. And we start by winning when we wake up. Before our feet hit the ground, we thank the Lord for this day. Because this is going to be a lovely day. Let's win today. Let's not walk on the field, period. Ain't no walking, nowhere. We run into hustling. We support one another. We're encouraging one another. We're motivating one another. We're pushing one another to go to the next level. You know why we got so many darn hamstrings right now? So many hamstrings. Where are you get hamstrings? Where you at? You know why? Because you've been holding it back. But then when it was time to run forward, it was time for you to hit it. You try to hit it, and it wasn't there. You know why it wasn't there? Because you've been saving it. That's what a hamstring is. I tore a whole bunch of them. Same thing. I never had to hit that last gear until somebody got out there and I had to go get it. But the fact that I had never hit it in a while, I pulled it. Quit saving it. What you saving for? Give every darn thing you got. How long is a play? Give every darn thing you got. But guys, let's have commitment to action today. Can we make today a lovely day? Sure.
Yeah, great video by Deion Sanders, or great speech. And that's a great video as well.
How did DC Liberals fund $200 billion for IR?
Okay, all right. Yeah, we're not playing that. Let me get this off the screen here. Okay, but anywho, great video by speech by Deion Sanders. Love that speech, and I think there's so many points that he made, but I love one of the main points he made was about not letting outside noise, outside people control the dial of your life, right? He says, I control that. I control the dial of my life. Other people can't control that for me. And I love that. I think that's a great thing to use each and every day that I like to use. You know, I'm not going to allow other people's opinions. I'm not going to allow a bad moment, a bad hour, a bad minute, whatever. Maybe you had a bad trip to the store. I don't know. Maybe you're out driving. Somebody beeped at you and gave you the middle finger, right? And so you never know what you're going to run into each day. And so, but during your day, those moments are just that. They're just moments. They don't define your day. They don't define who you are as a person, or if you have health anxiety, for instance. They don't define, if you have a moment of panic or anxiety or tension, that doesn't define who you are as a person, your overall health, right? You detach from that. That's not who you are. That's not who I am. And so who I am is who I am. And I'm in control of who I am. And I when you belong to God, put God first, He runs everything in your life. And so what are you afraid of? You know, there's nothing to be afraid of. You know, it's just like I was earlier this week with Coach Deion Sanders. You know, he was in some headlines because I guess back in December, he led some team meetings and prayer, and so they were. I don't know what's going on, but I know there's an uproar about it, and so. But no, shout out to Deion for not backing down. Number one, I mean, I don't know why it's a big deal now. If you follow Deion Sanders and his coaching for years now, since he's been at Jackson State, and maybe before that, before he became good, he's very clear about his Christianity, and like a lot of other schools that do this, there's a lot of professional teams that do this. I know the Browns say prayer after each game. I mean, it is what it is. It's always something. It's always something people are going to nitpick at. And shout out to him for not backing down. And I hope he keeps going. I mean, I remember growing up on my teams, not just my private school teams, because we were a Christian school, but even my city teams. We used to say the Lord's Prayer for each game. Yeah. And here, some guys on the team maybe weren't Christian. That's fine. No big deal at all. But they understood this is what we do, and you're welcome to join us. And a lot of guys, the whole team usually did, and some guys said it, and some guys didn't. By the end of the year, pretty much everybody was saying it, and it became that spirit of the team. And we won our national championship with the medal right there. Became our leading spirit. I mean, that became who we are. That was what we did for every game, and it just added a whole other element to the team when we started doing that in the middle of that year. But so I've always been doing that on my teams, and but shout out to Deion. I know he's going to keep doing it, and good for him. I mean, if you like it, don't. If you like it, great. You know, like me. If you don't, then go somewhere else. Then I mean, simple as that. It's his program. He can do whatever he wants with it. It's just some people. It's like my man Kwame Brown always says. It's all about who social media says what to do, what to like. It's all about who we like. It's all the go along, get along game people. But what are you gonna do? But again, great speech. And I like some other points he made there too about the days waiting on you. A lot of times people are getting caught up in actually, let me go back. There's some points in this where let's see. Yeah. So this is the point he made about having a bad moment. I want to play this again. I want to play some of this again. This is a great speech. And so Here's the part again about having a bad moment.
You ask. I can have a bad moment. I could even have a bad minute or a bad hour, but I would never allow it to get to the point where I have a bad day because I'm in control of that. You do not have the remote control to my life to turn me on and off, high and low, and change the color any way you want. I got that.
Mm. You do not have the remote control to change the color and change anything in his life. He has that. Man, I love that. That's great. And especially when talking in terms of anxiety. I heard something 2 weeks ago, or maybe it was a week and a half ago, whatever it was. And I've heard this before, and I got reminded of it, and I'm glad I saw it from a man, Dennis, the anxiety guy. He posted something, and what he said in the post was simple. Anxiety is just a symptom. That's all it is. It's just a symptom. Anxiety is not who we are, right? Anxiety is not who I am. And I know I talk a lot about anxiety. I'm kind of known now for what I do publicly on this channel about speaking, my story and helping people with anxiety. But anxiety is not who I am. That's not part of my identity. It's something that's I've been through, I've experienced, and still experience, and working through. But it's not who I am. It doesn't define me, right? And I have moments of anxiety. I have maybe some stretches of anxiety, but it's not who I am. Just like if a lot of times people with anxiety, have sleepless nights and lack of sleep, and I've been there. It's even recently where there's a lot of things on your mind, things you're kind of working through, and sometimes when you have health anxiety, especially, you're starting to work through. excuse me. When you're starting to work through things, you have some of the sleepless nights. It starts to kind of add up a little bit. You get kind of afraid of. It's hard to get back on track sometimes until you finally just kind of crash one night. You start to slowly get back into it. Get back in your normal sleeping pattern. But for a lot of people that I know, even people I'm starting to get to know or hear about around me, just in public, there's a lot of people, man, they don't really like sleep. For instance, they don't really sleep a whole lot, and insomnia, and just it's a real thing out here. I mean, just it affects so many people, and sleep is obviously a great tool to combat not only anxiety, but just your overall health and well-being, and just how you feel each and every day, your energy, right? And so, I think, like he said there with the dial, and not allowing that. It's like, so if for instance, if you don't sleep for a while, you can start to feel fatigued. A lot of times, like anxiety, you can start to develop, if you have it for a long period, chronic fatigue, right? But all these labels, chronic fatigue, anxiety, GAD, health anxiety, whatever, hypochondria, they're just labels. They're just things. Like, they're not who you are. They're not part. Don't identify with them. Don't label yourself all day long as I'm a hypochondriac, I'm a chronic fatiguer, I have chronic fatigue. Don't associate with those things. Don't let those moments that you have, those moments of those things, affect who you are. You start to disassociate from that, right? And start to, because when you do that, you start to add a different perspective to the situation. It's like you can wake up in the morning and say you didn't sleep well, for instance. I'm gonna keep using that, right? You can wake up and say, oh my gosh, I didn't sleep well again. It's like 3 nights in a row, whatever. Oh my gosh, I gotta go to work today. I'm not gonna feel well. What if I have a panic attack? All these what ifs, worst case scenario. Or you could say, use the word or it's another day to practice, to work through this. It gives me an opportunity to figure out what pattern's not working for me at night before I go to bed or during the day. What am I worried about? You could turn the dial back and you can decide what to do with it. How am I going to address this? Am I going to keep letting the things that are bothering me keep bothering me? Or am I going to just let it go, and really just get down to the root cause and really figure out, what am I really worried about? Is it a past trauma when I was a kid? Is it a past something I'm holding on to? Am I afraid to let go of somebody, something or someone, or whatever that is, right? And so, you have to figure that out and really start to, once you do that more, you really start to just desensitize yourself more, but you start to slow down more. You start to just really relax more, and you start to realize you can be neutral. Your confidence starts to come back, and you realize just you have more control than you think over how you can dictate what you can focus on. You don't control what goes on around you in your life. God controls that. We won't control anything, but we can choose to control what we focus on, what we give energy to, and how we allow things to affect us. And so I love that there with Coach Prime. And let's see what else. So points he made.
So knowing that you have the propensity, you have the power and authority to make your day a lovely day, why don't you do it? What are you waiting on? Help? What are you waiting on? Support? What are you waiting on? Somebody to ignite you? Somebody to turn your switch on? Somebody to yell at you, scream at you, cuss you out? What are you waiting on to make your day whatever you want it to be?
Love that as well. And I think, what are you waiting on? I think, and I've fallen guilty of this even recently, where there's a lot of things in my life I don't have yet that, which is fine. I'm 23, I'm young, but things that I kind of, would like one day, and some things that I would, want more of in my life, things I'm striving towards, goals and things of that nature. But if I just sit around and wait for something to happen and wait for some sign, or if I sit around and think about what if it doesn't happen, the what ifs, right? You're just sitting around waiting. And a lot of times when you sit around and wait, nothing happens. And you start to allow these things to control you, and they start to, control you, and they just start to, you allow it to overpower you. It becomes your number one priority. So sometimes you put it ahead, you're thinking more about whatever that is more than God, whatever it's bothering you, right? And so, I need some water. Good quality H2O. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, I love what he said there. What are you waiting on? A lot of times the day's just waiting on you. Just what are you waiting on? I mean, like we can't control these things. Like again, but this is also where faith comes into play. Faith in God, faith and trust in the Lord, and understanding that He has a plan for you. Like I said, and understanding that He understands what you want. He understands your needs. You may think it's one thing. You may be hanging on to one thing, but He's waiting for you to kind of let go of that, because He's saying, "Hey, I'll take you there. It may not be who what you think or who you think or whatever. It might be. I have better, right?" And He starts to, and He's done this with me. See, He'll start to slowly show you what else He has, what His real plan is, and it's actually all the time. It's better than what we could imagine. May not understand it at first. Some things happen in life we don't understand, but again, what do you focus on? Do you just keep it going each and every day? Do you stick to your routine each and every day? Do you have your things you do each and every day? You don't just sit around and wait all day you're not waiting around a period in your life for something to happen, right? And that, just kind of wishful thinking. If I put all my chips in the one basket, that's what's going to save me. That's what's going to get me going. No. Just getting up and going each and every day, putting your faith and trust in the Lord and praying to Him about it, and becoming a better version of yourself each and every day. That's what it's all about. And you'll get to those things sooner than you think. And there's things I know I don't have. I'm going to get to them pretty soon. I know that, because just the mindset, I feel much more clear now, much more better where I'm heading. And I know He's going to reward me for certain. He's going to, you seek the inheritance He blesses us with, right? And so you just keep going each and every day. And He gives you the right things at the right time. Brings new things in your life at the right time. But it's all to better you and to grow, help you grow, and to, push you further, and also to, most importantly, glorify Him, to advance His kingdom, which is most important. And so, yeah, and I'm gonna play the speech again. I'm gonna play this out again. This is a great speech. And so, yeah, let's listen to this one more time.
We're winners. You got to start thinking that. I see about a quarter of y'all thinking that we're winners. Some of y'all still caught up in the last year, into yesterday, into last night, whatever argument, whatever disparity that you had with family, friends, and loved ones. We're winners. And we start by winning when we wake up. Before our feet hit the ground, we thank the Lord for this day. Because this is going to be a lovely day. Let's win today. Let's not walk on the field, period. Ain't no walking, nowhere. We run into hustling. We support one another. We're encouraging one another. We're motivating one another. We're pushing one another to go to the next level. You know why we got so many darn hamstrings right now? So many hamstrings. Where's your hamstring? Where you at? You know why? Because you've been holding it back. But then when it was time to run the 40, it was time for you to hit it. You try to hit it, and it wasn't there. You know why it wasn't there? Because you've been saving it. That's what a hamstring is. I tore a whole bunch of them. Same thing. I never had to hit that last gift till somebody got out there and I had to go get it. For the fact that I had never hit it in a while, I pulled it. Quit saving it. What you saving it for? Give every darn thing you got. How long is a play? Give every darn thing you got for that fight. Guys, let's have a commitment to excellence today. Can we make today a lovely day?
Sure.
I'm here. Yeah, great video again. Like I said, or great speech. I mean, that's a great video as well. I'll link that below. Shout out to Well Off Media. Love following your content every day. Go check it out. You guys are watching already. Great content. See what's going on behind the scenes of the football program at Colorado every day. And so, yeah. And I love what he said there about the hamstring, because you can apply that again with life. What are you waiting on? Like, for instance, with anxiety. A lot of times with people with anxiety, and I've been here, you sit around, you wait for things to happen. And when the time comes where you want to do certain things, you feel kind of stuck. It's like you pull your own hamstring in your anxiety, and you can set yourself back. You put yourself in a more deeper hole. You get more frustrated. You get more pissed off. You get more angry. And you just start to feel more just confused. And just kind of lost. A lot of times it's because you don't really have a plan set in place. You're just kind of running the same loop every single day, just waiting. You're just sitting there, and you allow things on the outside to control you. You allow people, like you said, to control your temperature, your dial. You let the outside world control your dial, and so you feel like you don't really have control over anything in your life. And when you start to try to do things you want to do, maybe you're not prepared for, or you have maybe some things you're still haven't overcome yet, maybe some fears, some situations you get in that make you more fearful or challenge you. A lot of times you run backwards. You start to get down in a hole. Like I said, you start to question yourself, question who you are. You can easily start to question, will you ever get out of this? A lot of people just give up. Like, they just think, I'm never going to get out of this, and they carry that label that anxiety is who they are when it's not who they are, right? And so. But I love that analogy there with the hamstring, even, and yeah, he's right too. I mean, you play football. A lot of times, guys that save it, that's what a hamstring is, because they finally start running full speed on it, and that's it. It gives out. So, but awesome speech again by Coach Prime, and again, I'll link that below. Shout out to Wells Off Media. That was fair use YouTube, educational purposes only. So, but yeah, great channel and awesome speech. I wanted to share that. I saw it yesterday. And I was like, man, this is awesome. So let's see. Now I'm going to move on to my man, Dennis, the anxiety guy. Again, he has a video. It's one of his latest ones out. Hold on, it's playing already in my back here. Okay. My man, Dennis, the anxiety guy. Go subscribe. I want to share this video as well. It's a 7-minute video. Great video. And hold on, let me get back on the screen here. Okay, there we go. Great video from man Dennis, the anxiety guy. And this video kind of goes hand in hand in what we were just talking about. A lot of the same points. 5 reasons why health anxiety suffers over worry. And these 5 reasons in here really help you get down to the root cause of things, and really help you kind of just really ask yourself some hard questions. Kind of, what am I really worrying about? Right? Like I was saying earlier about sleepless nights, or whatever's bothering you throughout the day. You're having panic attacks and stuff, right? What's really bothering you? And so that's this videos we're going to get down to, and really give you kind of just an awareness, something to start off with, right? And so, yeah, without further ado, let's get to the video.
Warriors, welcome to episode number 7 of the Health Anxiety Podcast Show. I'm your host, Dennis Simsek, and boy, am I grateful to have you listening in on this podcast episode. My friends, today we're going to be discussing the close relationship that health anxiety sufferers have with worry. It's a very tight bond. I want to get to the bottom of it so that I can help you to create some clarity as to why you're consciously and unconsciously holding on to worry so much. Warrior, let's jump right into this episode. The first thing is that worry fulfills a need for a health anxiety sufferer. For me personally, it was a need for certainty. I was certain that my day would look the same as it did yesterday and not worse. One of the things that scares a health anxiety sufferer more than anything else in the world is something that is unfamiliar. Because if something is unfamiliar, most likely a physical bodily sensation, it's an unfamiliar feeling. What starts to happen is the health anxiety sufferer begins to catastrophize that sensation, that feeling. And the more the sufferer catastrophizes the feeling, the worse it gets, the stronger it becomes. He or she is now branching from one possible idea or outcome to another possible idea or outcome. This, in a health anxiety sufferer's life, is the debilitating cycle that is health anxiety.
Again, go back to what I said earlier with Deion Sanders' speech about the dial, not letting things control you in your life. That's basically what this is. You have a symptom, you have a feeling, related to health anxiety or whatever, and you allow that to start to control you. And what it does, it starts to group everything else in your life to that feeling. And you start to try to control everything. You start to try to slow everything down. You start to try to, like, in terms of, I don't want to say slow everything down, maybe more in terms of, you just allow that fear to control you, and your life starts to slow down because you're so fearful. It's hard to complete tasks. It's hard to, uh, focus on day to day things, focus in moments. Even, I mean, it's a very overwhelming feeling, right? And I've been there even recently, and so, um, but again, you have to learn to let go of that control, and this is where you have to learn to allow, and just focus on the things like you said earlier in that speech, things that you can control your dial with. Some things we can't control. We don't control anything really. God controls everything, but things we can focus on, what we can allow, what we can control, what we allow to affect us, right? And so, I can spit that out. Yeah, we can control, we allow to affect us. Bad moments, bad day, or bad hours, bad minutes. That's just what they are. They're just moments and days, or I would say days. They're just moments, hours, and minutes. You control what you allow to affect you, and so again, like he said, control or not looking to control the actual health anxiety, not looking to control everything in your life. When you get those feelings, have a different perspective on it. Let go, and try to control, or I would say shift your focus rather towards what you allow to affect you, what you don't, and start to really understand what are these things that you're really afraid of. Why are you afraid of these things? And that's why I had to get down to the root causes of things and start to, once you identify those things, and you can start to um, understand. Okay, this is why I was fearful of this. Like for me, it was a lot of incidents I saw at a younger age, and other people's interpretations and reactions to certain things that happened around me when I was a kid. And so I carried those with me. And not even around that time. It's just you're not aware of it when you're like a little kid, like, oh, this some you don't say like to yourself at that time, this is gonna bother me 10 years from now. But as you get older and you start to get in your teen years, your early adulthood, and so on, you start to get you start to have more incidents in your life as life goes on that maybe are challenging for you in a moment or whatever, and you can react the same way you thought was normal. This is like where generational anxiety comes into play, right? And so, for me, that was a lot of what I had to figure out and try to work through and reframe and try to, not try to, but to understand what was true, what wasn't true, and what was somebody else's reaction. And I also understand why that person reacted the way they did and wasn't their fault or people, and it just was. But it doesn't have, it doesn't, it's like the dial. It doesn't control me. It's not who I am or my identity. And so, um, and I start to let go of that and kind of turn to God first and just recreate who I want to be and who God wants you to be. How does God want to perceive these things? It says in the Bible, do not worry. Concern is legit, worry is not. And so, yeah, I mean, as simple as that. But I'm going to get back to the video.
So for me, it really fulfilled a need. Okay. And many times these needs go under the surface, they are unconscious. The worry provides something to the person. The second thing is that worry is a characteristic of what you believe your identity is. I mean, have you literally attached worry to being a part of who you are? I know I did, right? Worry is just a part of who I am. If I could have given myself an identity or a label, I probably would have called myself a worrywart. A worrywart. And because I was a worrywart, I felt safe. I felt like I was highly sensitized, but I started to believe that the world was supposed to be viewed from this particular angle. I was supposed to be fearful. I was supposed to be on guard because being on guard gave me a sense of control. What does a health anxiety sufferer fear more than anything else in the world? The idea of losing control. So not only do they want to control their sensations, their symptoms, their ideas in their mind, they want to control their friends. They want to control their family. They want to have control over every aspect in their life. And the moment they lose that control, it feels like dying. And I've been
Uh, 2 points he made there. I want to stop for real quick. Number one, he talked about the point where I was just talking about. He said he labeled himself a worrywart, right? He thought this is the identity, this is the label, this is how the lens I have to view everything in the world. It's like I was just talking about things I learned when I was a kid. I thought were normal, weren't. And so I thought that's how you responded, react to certain situations and things. But then you find out that's not true. Those things are not true. That's not how you react. That's not what's going on. That's not it's not what you think it is, right? And so love that point. And then the second point I like he made there at the end was trying to control everything around you, trying to control. And this is something I think social media plays a part in nowadays, where everything has to be perfect to do it, right? Everything's got to be the right this right time and this perfect, but it's worldly though. It's not godly. And it really all it does is make you control. You have these perfectionist standards that can't be met, and when they don't get met, then you get down and you get lost, you get confused, you get angry, you get sad, depressed, and it's a never-ending cycle. But again, trying to control everything in your life, you can't. And so that's where you have to allow God to lead you to certain people, lead you to certain things, lead you to the right career and person, and whatever, family, friends. You're looking for future spouse, right? He's going to lead you there, and so you just leave it all to Him. He'll lead you to the right person, to the right career. Stop trying to control everything. Stop listening to the world trying to tell you everything's got to be X, Y, and Z. And if it ain't this, then forget about it. That's wrong. It's like Deion said, stop waiting around. What are you waiting around for? I'm not waiting around anymore. Not me. I know I made some decisions in my life recently, and especially in the last month. I've been really thinking about a lot of things. Like, you know what? I'm not waiting around anymore for certain things. The hell with that. I'm not waiting around for it. I'm not going to allow someone, or something to control me. Like Deion said, to control my dial of my life. It ain't happening. I'm gonna let God lead me, and I'm gonna keep doing what I need to do every single day, and that's that. We'll get there very soon. May not be what I thought, or how I thought it would go, or whatever, but it'll be better than I could imagine because it's in God's will. He's leading me there. That's all that matters. And when you have that mindset, you're in, and you're in tune with His will. It doesn't mean it's easy, guys. And some days you have challenges, but that's okay. You just work through those challenges, take the wins and take the lessons, right? And so, and keep stacking bricks each and every single day to build the house you're trying to build for yourself. Who you're becoming. That's what it's all about. The mindset each and every single day. And so, yeah, we get back to the video.
there. Thirdly, worry provides a sense of safety and they feel like it keeps the bad stuff, like illness, farther and farther away. If I continue to worry, I haven't developed anything up to now. And because I haven't developed any kind of illness up to now, maybe, just maybe, I have to continue worrying so that in the future I can prevent it just as well. Does this sound like you? It was me, day after day. As soon as I stopped worrying, I was like, where did the worry go? As soon as my sensations left me, I'm like, where are my sensations? Right? I don't know who I am anymore. I don't feel safe. And so I continued to sabotage the good feelings, the inner peace, and I continued to lead my life towards chaos and drama and the addiction to suffering. But that's why you're here in this podcast. Together, we're going to be moving forward away from this world and into a new one. The fourth thing about worry is that worry is in the family. Mom, dad, the generations of past trauma in the family that you inherited unknowingly. I mean, worry is within the family. Unconsciously, you may not even realize that generation after generation after generation, the traumas that mom, dad, grandfather, grandmother went through, you inherited their characteristics, their traumas. And the studies are coming out as far as this particular science now. But again, consciously, it's a part of the family. Mom has it, dad has it. We're just worrying people. And if I let go of worry, then I probably won't have the same attention that I get from my family members. I won't be able to connect. I'll feel like I'll stop loving mom and dad. There's a disconnect there. So unconsciously, a health anxiety sufferer feels like they need to worry because it's within the family. It's just what we do. Now, the fifth thing is that worry.
And I love that point there because I could relate to that fully. Like I was saying, and with generational anxiety, with family anxiety, my family, especially my dad's side, they were haunted for years with hypochondria because of things that happened to them that they saw. It wasn't their fault, but when you see certain things over and over and over again, and it affects you, and it affected them for a long time, and it was passed down to me for a while. But luckily for me, what happened to me broke the cycle, and God used me to break the cycle, and now they're able to heal their traumas too. And so it can go both. Be the cycle breaker, whatever it is. Not just health anxiety, it could be anything. Be the cycle breaker in your family, with your friends, people around you. To do something great in life is to, in my opinion, to inspire and to affect and to leave an impact. That's what it's all about. And luckily, I've been able to do that with my own family, and it's been a tremendous honor. I'm glad, God blessed me to do it. And so, yeah, man, be the cycle breaker. But let's finish this out. If I get it on the screen here. Okay, there we go.
Keeps a person straight within the rules and laws set within society. If I stop worrying, if I lose my guard, I'm losing control, and I am not contributing to society, I might break a rule. I might break the law, and so forth. Warriors, these are the 5 reasons why health anxiety sufferers worry so much. What I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and brainstorm whether some of these are applying into your life today. Take these rules, take these reasons, run with them, and I promise you, together, we are going to make you more than anxiety. I love you so very much. See you in the next podcast episode, and do not forget to subscribe. Bye-bye.
Great video again from my man Dennis, Anxiety Guy. Go subscribe to him. Awesome video and great video, great speech again today by Coach Deion Sanders. I love sharing that. And yeah, that's the message for today. I mean, just real simple today. Just control the dial in your own life. Don't let people on the outside. Don't let your symptoms. Don't let your anxiety be who you are. You control that, and you take control of that, and you stay focused on what you need to stay focused on each and every day to reach your goals and your destination. And when you do that, you will. And a lot of times sooner than you think. And so, yeah, simple as that today, guys. We hit on a lot today in 45 minutes. And so, thank you again for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. Please leave your feedback on this video. I would love to hear you guys' feedback on this. Yeah, go Cavs tonight and get this win against the Miami Heat. Trying to think anything else. No, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure, like I said, like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. And yeah, I'm out of here. Gone.